Unravel the mystery. Defining versus non-defining relative clauses. Hello, English learners. Welcome to another exciting episode on intermediate grammar. Today, we'll delve into the world of relative clauses. We'll distinguish between two types: defining relative clauses and non-defining relative clauses, and explore how these grammatical structures can add depth and variety to your language skills. Firstly, let's clarify what a relative clause is. A relative clause is a type of clause that we use to provide additional information about someone or something. They usually follow the noun they are giving more information about and are introduced by a relative pronoun like who, which, that, whose, where, or when. For example, the book, which I read last week, was fascinating. Here, which I read last week, is a relative clause providing extra information about the book. Let's move on to our first type: defining relative clauses. These are essential to the meaning of the sentence as they define or identify the noun they modify. If you remove them, you might change the meaning of the sentence or make it unclear. They do not require commas around them. For instance, the woman who lives next door is a doctor. Here, the clause, who lives next door, is a defining relative clause. Without it, we wouldn't know which woman we're talking about. Now, let's consider the second type: non-defining relative clauses. Unlike defining clauses, these clauses add extra, non-essential information to a sentence. Even if you remove them, the sentence still makes sense. Importantly, non-defining relative clauses are typically separated from the rest of the sentence by commas, parentheses, or dashes. Here's an example. My brother, who lives in New York, is a musician. In this case, the clause, who lives in New York, is a non-defining relative clause. Even without this information, we know the sentence is about my brother. Now, let's apply our new knowledge with some practice. I'll provide a few sentences, and your task is to identify whether the relative clause is defining or non-defining. Ready? Let's go. 1. The movie that we watched last night was very interesting. 2. My phone, which I bought last year, is already outdated. 3. I have a friend who can speak 5 languages. Take your time, and remember the key differences we've discussed. That brings us to the end of our video today, folks. We hope this session on defining and non-defining relative clauses has been enlightening. Keep practicing, and don't forget, understanding these distinctions can significantly enhance your writing and conversation skills in English. Until our next video, happy learning, and keep up the great work.